Our next few lessons are going to be about moral philosophy, that is ethics. Moral philosophy is the study of human behaviour, particularly asking the question of why we act the way we do. We think that humans are different to animals. We make choices, animals act on instinct. We reflect, we weigh up options, we choose a hopefully wise course of action. Moral philosophy seeks to understand why we act the way we do in the face of moral dilemmas, decisions between right and wrong. Moral philosophy examines our beliefs and our intentions that lie behind the decisions we make. It encourages us to look at the way we judge right and wrong and our attempts to justify what we do. In doing that, moral philosophy sets out guidelines and principles for other people to follow. Unlike scientific subjects, such as biology, chemistry and physics, philosophy is quite difficult to test. You can't do experiments in a lab and compare the results with others. However, philosophers still do experiments. They just have to stay in your head. They're called thought experiments. This is just as well, because actually quite a lot of the thought experiments will be unethical if they really happened. To test ideas, philosophers imagine a situation or a scenario, apply an idea or a theory to it, and then discuss all the possible outcomes. To begin our topic on moral philosophy, we're going to do a thought experiment, and you'll be then forced into making a moral choice and will reflect on the reasons you had for making your decision. The experiment concerns the Titanic disaster of 1912. You'll have heard of it and possibly seen the TV clips during the anniversary year a couple of years back. At the time, the Titanic was a ship at the cutting edge of technology. It had a double thickness hull and 16 watertight compartments. She was famously declared unsinkable. Then, on the maiden voyage on the 14th of April, just after midnight, the Titanic hit an iceberg and sank in 2 hours. Over 1,500 people died in freezing waters. It's well known that the Titanic did not have enough lifeboats. However, it's also true that not all the lifeboats were full when they left the Titanic. This thought experiment will ask you to imagine that you're on one of the lifeboats. You and your group have grabbed a boat and rowed away from the main ship. Your first dilemma will be about whether to return to the ship or not. Do you return to pick up more people and fill the spaces? In doing so, of course, you take an enormous risk, because there are likely to be many people in the water who might capsize the boat. After this dilemma, you'll be faced with another. As you row further and further away, whether or not you picked up passengers, it becomes clear that the lifeboat is carrying too many people. You estimate that you'll need to throw 3 people overboard in order to survive. How are you going to decide who to throw overboard? What criteria will you use to make your judgment? Will it be age, occupation, gender, wealth? After you've watched this video, you should write some of your suggestions down on the worksheet so that you can be prepared for the discussion in class. What do you need to do now? Well, you could stop at this point, write some answers on the worksheet and go and watch TV if you want. However, you might want to watch this video again. It's very short. As the videos deal with more and more complicated issues later in the course, you might want to get into the habit of watching them several times. And don't forget, you can always pause the video at any point. Just to encourage you to watch the video, there will be a quiz in class next lesson. If you want to go even further, then there are a couple of links to websites that you can look at, which will come up on the screen in just a moment. They take you to an ethics page on a BBC website and to a BBC Bite-sized page with a video that you can watch. That's all. Bye for now.